Hello, TrueNAS skill users. Lately, if you've been struggling with TrueCharts or if you've been getting this error in your TrueNAS scale, where your TrueNAS scale is unable to sync your TrueCharts catalog or is having troubles loading the catalog repository, you're not alone. There have been a lot of people reporting similar issues on Reddit and TrueNAS forums as well. A lot of us are wondering what's happening and it has left us all confused. I've been waiting for someone to make a video on this, but it seems that nobody is talking about it much. So I decided to make this video to help you guys out. Today, I'll break down what happened, what is this error about, what it means for you if you're a TrueNAS skill user, but most importantly, what you can do about it if you're affected by this, just like I am. Alright, so yeah, what is this error about? Failed to sync TrueCharts. Something's off. Well, let's try to check the GitHub repo of TrueCharts. Oh, what's this? TrueCharts is not here. What's going on? The catalog is missing. Could this be a bug? Or what am I doing wrong? I'm pretty positive that my setup was correct, but what exactly happened here? If any of you guys have been following TrueNAS scale and TrueCharts for a while, you guys would know that there has been a lot of back and forth going on between them, and I believe earlier this year in January they also removed some of the apps from the TrueCharts catalog, and there's been a bit of a backslash on it from the community. But nobody expected TrueNAS scale to abandon TrueCharts altogether and all too sudden. A lot of people in the community are very visibly upset over what happened. Yes, TrueCharts was a nice to have feature. It had a great collection of apps. It had a huge community of developers and contributors working together. I myself did use TrueCharts to deploy some of my apps, but there were some reservations. If it were not for the potential data loss issues and security risks, it would have stayed longer, I believe. But the main issue for me was that there would be some breaking changes whenever there was an update released. It was not often, but it was frequent enough to be annoying at some point. And yeah, this was an issue. Yes, TrueCharts seems to be off the picture for now, but I believe the TrueCharts community is still actively trying to work on a solution, and it looks like there is some promise for the Dragonfish release, but it's still unclear as to what we'll receive. So what are we left with? What to do? Before you do anything at all, if any of you guys have been using TrueCharts apps, I highly recommend you to take backups of your data. There are good and extensive guides on YouTube that you can follow. Yes, you can do this without backups, but I do very much recommend you to take backups of your data. Now, let's look at what you can do after the backups. Say you want to use these apps on your TrueNAS. What can you do about it? Well, good news is that there are a few ways to go on about it, and the last one is my favorite. So stick around for it. One of the alternatives is you can try to migrate all of your apps to a Talos Linux instance, which according to TrueCharts can be run as a virtual machine instance. That is of course when TrueNAS skill provides support for it, which means it could be a near future solution, and there is still a little bit of work undergoing for it. Well, good thing about Talos is that it is lightweight, it is easy to run once set up properly. It is designed to run Kubernetes efficiently, so there should be no issue installing the Helm-based apps, which means you might be able to run your TrueCharts apps without any issue. The next thing that you can try to do is you can try to make use of TrueNAS Scale's custom apps feature to deploy your own apps. The way you can do this is by creating custom images of your applications, upload it to Docker Hub, pull it from Docker Hub and run it as a custom scale app in your TrueNAS. I'll put down a detailed video on it in the description. Do check it out if you're interested in that solution. Of course, there is that extra step of you needing to create an image for the app, upload it to Docker Hub and pull it from your Docker Hub to your TrueNAS, install it as a custom app. Yeah, yes, that's a lot of steps, and that's why the next solution is more exciting and easy. With the latest release of TrueNAS Scale version 24.04, which is part of the Dragonfish release, we now have access to a new feature called Sandboxes. Well, not exactly new, Sandboxes were a thing in TrueNAS core for a long time. It has taken this long to bring it to scale, and only at the Dragonfish release.
which means you will only be able to set up jails or sandboxes after you upgrade or change your update train to the Dragonfish train. So, what are jails? Why use jails in the first place? Simply put, jails are like small secure containers on your system that lets you run your apps separately, similar to a VM. But they are much lighter and faster than VMs because they share the same core system resources without causing any overhead, even though they operate separately. Whereas VMs are generally heavy and normally require you to pre-configure or pre-allocate a lot of CPU and storage resources, which can cause a lot of overhead.
Another cool thing about setting up a jail is that it won't be lost when you update your scale. Since it is run separately from the TrueNAS scale, when you decide to update your TrueNAS scale or change your update train, it doesn't affect the jail, so you wouldn't have to worry about losing your data or go through the fuss of migrating your data to the updated version. Optionally, you can set up Docker or Kubernetes in your jail to manage and run your apps easily outside of your scale. And that makes it versatile to use and consider it as a better solution among the rest. If you're interested in setting up jails in your own server, I'll make sure to put down a detailed video which guides you step by step on how to set up a jail and what are the mistakes to avoid. So what's the final verdict? If you want to wait till TrueNAS supports Talos Linux, you can set up your apps on the Talos Linux instance and go for that. On the other hand, if you want to set up your own images, you can go through the hassle of setting up your own images and uploading it to TrueNAS. And finally, if you think jails are your type of solution, check the links in the description and stay tuned for a detailed video that I'll post soon. As always, thanks for making it till the end of the video.